You laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now because Derrick Rose has been watching a lot of Six Man, it seems, because he's just come out and said there's some parallels between the Detroit Pistons and the Miami Heat. Who came out with a video talking about that a few months ago? Me? Oh, it was me. I guess Derrick Rose has been a fan of the YouTube channel. D-Rose, if you're watching this video as well, drop a like, drop a comment. It's much appreciated. Because he's come out and said just this. I look at that and I look at our team. We have the same thing. We have a lot of young guys. It's up to them how good they'll become. We'll do as much as we can to push them and set an example. It's confirmed Detroit are going to the finals this year. Book your tickets if we can even do that and get ready for a finals appearance because it's been much anticipated, and I think a lot of people expect that anyway. A lot of people are sleeping on Detroit, but D-Rose knows that the potential of this team to do something this year is unmatched. But on a serious note, Derrick Rose has said something that I was kind of talking about before. Things have changed because they've traded away some more experienced young guys, but the essence of this team still remains the same in that I think they've got veteran guys in D-Rose, in Blake Griffin. One's won an MVP. One was third in MVP voting before and is coming off a year where he was a top 20 player in the league just before getting injured. Derrick Rose is rejuvenated. He probably thinks he can still perform and be an incredibly impactful player, which he can. We've seen it. So you've got those two players that have such a high confidence and know so much about the game that the knowledge they're going to pass on is just going to be absolutely crucial. There's not many other teams you can look at and say they've got Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose. I know it's kind of a meme now because, look, you would have looked back on it 10 years ago. If the Pistons had Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, they would be favourites for the title, regardless of who they had around them. They could have 15-year-old kids playing JV, and they would still be title favourites because those two were absolutely insane, and they would have been the most exciting team in NBA history. But they're not. They're not title favourites, and I don't expect them to win a title or come even close. But I think I just wanted to make a video on this quote in general. I know it's to make a whole video on just a quote from Derrick Rose. He's a man of few words. I guess it's rare that he does make a quote, so that's probably why I'm making it. But basically, I agree with what D-Rose is saying. I know he's not elaborating on things, but basically what I'm trying to say and what I've been saying is this team needs the veteran leadership. Everyone always talks about, oh, just get in all the young guys, chop out all the senior players, all the experience, all the wisdom, all the kind of ability on the floor and off the floor. It's not that simple. Let's look back at Phoenix before they started to turn things around. How were they going? Terribly. Not to bring up bad memories, Suns fans. You're in a good place now, so it's fine. But there's a reason Josh Jackson, Dragan Bender, Marquise Chris, all of these guys failed and then came out and said why they were failing was because of the organization. And that's not the fault of Phoenix Suns fans or anyone else. That's the fault of having no veteran leadership, having no players that were very good, and just trying to tank and then bring in top 5 picks and just hope it all works out. It's not the way. Like, I guarantee you, it's not the right way to go about things to get rid of all your veteran players and just tank. So whoever says that, they're lying to you. I could make a whole video on this, and I probably will actually, but there's an importance of having Blake Griffin. Why do you think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took a huge leap? Lou Dort, all these guys. Chris Paul. It's Chris Paul. Sure, they're good players, and they were going to be talented, and they were probably going to perform well, but like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't get to the level he's at. Even Dennis Schroeder probably played the best basketball of his career because of Chris Paul. So you've got Derrick Rose, he's going to mentor Killian Hayes, that's your future, and keeping him for a year longer and maybe losing out on a potential 30th pick to mentor your 7th overall pick, get some production, get some wins, get some locker room presence, help your young guy learn the ropes, and help him develop into the point guard that he hopes to be, is more crucial than taking that 30th overall pick and letting him get slaughtered every night and not really know what he's doing out there because he doesn't have that former MVP mentoring him. I'm telling you, this is crucial stuff that people always overlook. It's all about the stats, it's all about the top draft picks, that you forget about stuff like leadership, that you forget about on the court, off the court stuff. It's why the Miami Heat culture draws so much praise from players and coaches and people around the NBA because they know how important that stuff is, and they know that's the reason that guys like Duncan Robinson, guys like Tyler Hero, all of these guys, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, have got the best out of themselves because they're around like-minded guys, and that's exactly what the Pistons are looking to instill. Isaiah Stewart, Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey, Saban Lee. All of these guys have had raps on their work ethic, their athleticism, all of these things. Even Josh Jackson has athleticism, and I'm sure his work ethic has turned around after those few stumbling blocks earlier in his career. There's a reason. There's a mold of players that Detroit are going for, and they got rid of a few players. Luke Kennard, one of my favorite players, but they got rid of him for a few reasons. Contract year coming up. Is it going to be worth paying someone that money who's going to be 25 when you're probably not going to be competing for a championship? He's got knee issues, he's got injury issues, and he's not a good defender when you're looking to get defensive, athletic guys. Well, no, he just doesn't fit the mold. It's simple as. So that's why he went. And then everyone laughed at Jeremy Grant getting signed, Mason Plumlee getting signed. Both athletic guys, high work ethics, have played in good organizations, winning teams, and are coming off a conference finals appearance. Jeremy Grant was one of the star players for the Nuggets in the conference finals, the third best player on their team. He comes in as a defender, as someone who wants to get more shots, as someone who wants a bigger role, a bigger opportunity. He's hungry to prove himself. He's done well in his career, but he's coming in, he wants to prove himself as an all-star level player. Do I think he can get to that? I don't know. We've never seen him given the opportunity to do so. Did anyone think Pascal Siakam would be an all-star level player? No. They're around the same age. Yeah, that's around the same age, Pascal Siakam and Jeremy Grant. So who's to say Jeremy Grant can't take that leap given more opportunity? Basically, what this D-Rose quote tells to me is the Pistons aren't going to make the finals. They're going to be better than people expect. They're not going to be the worst team in the NBA if Blake Griffin stays healthy. It's a big if. But if he stays healthy for 50 games, they're going to win more games than the Knicks, the Cavs, the Thunder, all of these teams, because he's so superior when healthy to any players on any of those teams. It's not even close. I know I'm a Pistons fan, so it sounds like I'm just being biased, but like, if you watched him play 2 years ago, that team is not much better than the team we have now, if at all. Now, the only guy that's left is Blake Griffin. He got them to 41 and 41. That was not a talented roster at all. That was not. So if he can get healthy, again, big if, there's no way they finish bottom of the East. There's no way they finish bottom of the league. And am I saying that's the best thing possible? I mean, Cade Cunningham would be nice, but also developing a winning culture and not getting rid of all your talented players just because they're not 21 years of age is also important as well. And look, halfway through the season, you get the mentorship from D-Rose and Blake Griffin, and those players are ready to develop. Sekou and Killian Hayes are ready to take the next step. They're ready to play significant game time, and they've proven themselves. Then hopefully Blake's played good game time, he's performed at a good level, and he's been healthy. You can trade him for a first-round pick or two, because teams looking to contend want someone who can stretch the floor, do all the things Blake can do that make you instantly better. Derrick Rose can come off the bench and give you a spark plug that we've seen goes for first-round picks. Those kind of guys are first-round pick worthy, particularly on a good contract like D. Rose. If he stays healthy, he's going to go for that. You can always wait. There's nothing to lose by waiting. Probably Derrick Rose, maybe because of his injury problems. If you waited, you might miss out on that first-round pick. But again, like I've said, just having his locker room presence, a former MVP, someone that knows so much about basketball to help mentor these guys, is going to be critical. And then Blake Griffin, there's absolutely nothing to lose by waiting. He is at his all-time low in terms of value. If you trade him now, that would be such an error. I can't state that enough. I even hate the thought of people saying it. Trade him now and get negative returns? What are you talking about? What does holding onto the contract do for you? You're not signing anyone next year. You're not signing Giannis Antetokounmpo. You don't need to get off his contract. So keep a hold of your best player, healthy or not, and keep a hold of someone who's a good locker room presence. And if he stays healthy for 35 games and teams are interested in taking a next step, then you're going to trade him for positive assets. All of these things Detroit have done and have to continue to do. And people have to look at this team and not just think they're directionalists. They've got a direction and they've got a mentality that they want to follow. And that is similar to the Miami Heat. And you can see the parallels. You've got a Blake Griffin, a Jimmy Butler kind of guy. When healthy, I'm going to put those guys in a similar kind of category. When healthy, it's a big if. And they're not healthy, but in terms of leadership, in terms of everything Blake can do, he's on that kind of level. Derrick Rose, in terms of what he can do. Goran Dragic, look at him. In terms of a player, that's kind of what you're looking at. But in terms of leadership and in terms of experience, he's ahead of so many people in the league, and it's important to have him. And then you get in the veteran guys, and then you mix him in with the young guys, the young talented guys that Detroit have. There's a reason D-Rose sees parallels between Miami. There's a reason me and D-Rose are on the same wavelength. There's a reason. And that's all I'm going to say. It's pretty much all I had to say in the video. Just want to make Detroit videos because I like talking about Detroit, and people seem to like watching me talk about Detroit. So that seems like a good match, in my opinion. If you want to continue to see me talk about Detroit or any other team, drop a comment below. Let me know what you want to see. I need some more video ideas because I've talked about a lot of different things. I've got more things to come, but let me know below. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. That would be much appreciated. That's all I've got to say. Anyways, I'll catch you next time. Bye.